Hello. Check. How we doing? Hope everybody's having a fine Sunday. 9 straight losses in Arlington. Keep this team away from Texas forever, man. Yeah, Gremlin, it's brutal. What's up, Brady and Twitter? How you doing? Let's go Rangers. Are you a Rangers fan? Or did you just wager on the Texas Rangers? Either way, congratulations. Good afternoon, DGen. What's up? Are you on the West Coast? Yeah, not good. I got Drew. My buddy Drew coming in here in a little bit. Started just a minute or two early. DGen, how was church? I did not go to church. Are you referring to the bullpen pitcher, last name Church, from the Rangers? Because he was good. We got some success against him. That Milner guy was absolutely filthy. We typically record the Rays Glaze. That's what we've done twice this year. And this week, so we did it before the season. We did it after the Rocky series. And we're going to go game by game, kind of touch on everything and see if there's any takeaways. I actually took some notes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that I jotted down regarding the Rays and the Rangers. Drunk with the fellas, Guardians Moneyline Live. God bless. Shammy, enjoy yourself, my man. That's what it's all about. Enjoy your Sunday. Good luck. Bet responsibly. No, I meant capital G Church. I don't know what that means, quantitative. This joke's going over my head. Drew.
Perfect timing. We were scheduled to meet at 5:30, and the Rays get walked off right at 5:30. That's the way to set it up.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of saying hello to the guests and welcoming everybody. We're live on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. And if you haven't met Drew before, this is my longtime buddy and the first Rays fan that I ever met. Fun fact, he's also a Florida Panthers fan. You don't find too many of those. One of the big reasons that I became a Rays fan, because I started to get into baseball and you wouldn't shut the fuck up about the Rays. And I started to pay attention, and then I fell in love with guys like, BJ Upton, Evan Longoria. No. Yeah, Pena was the man. No, but in all seriousness, anyways, we like to bullshit about the Rays behind closed doors in our group chat. So we figured we might as well bring it to the big screen. Hello, everybody on TikTok as well. So we're gonna talk Rays because we're Rays fans, obviously. So if you are too, great. You might enjoy it. If not, maybe you won't. And then let's touch on some things just in the overall landscape of baseball, because Drew is actually a ball knower. Very good guy to talk sports with. Mr. Drew, I have to tell you, I mean, I'm sure you're on the same page. Neither of us really felt that good coming into a series with the Texas Rangers because Texas owns the Rays. In this stadium now, that's 9 straight losses. Somebody mentioned it as soon as we went live. Thank you again, Super Gremlin. What do you think? All I told myself today was please don't lose in heartbreaking fashion, and that's exactly what happened. How do you feel right now?
Today's the only loss that pissed me off. The other 2 days I kind of saw coming with the matchups and us just not matching up with the Rangers well and having never winning in that building. I think we're cursed because of the 2020 World Series. We lost the 2020 World Series to the Dodgers in Globe Life Field because of the pandemic. The World Series was played there. And I think our franchise is just forever cursed from that as we can't recover from it with it being 9 straight losses. I don't think we've won a game there since 2022.
Cash pulled Snell in Arlington in the World Series, and God has been striking us down in that stadium since then. Yeah.
I mean, today is the one game where I felt good about us getting a W. I mean, if you told me we're going to take 1 out of 3 in Texas, I would take it. You feel okay about it coming back home because we have 13 straight home games.
Yeah.
Which is insane. But yeah, getting swept, and we lost the last game against the Pirates, so we dipped below 500 at 4-5 with a 4-game losing streak, and not feeling so great going into an off day tomorrow.
Yeah. Alan, you probably missed the intro, and that's okay. Rays talk, or can we mix in some other teams to talk about? We can mix up some other teams to talk about. Drew is a big baseball fan and really knows the teams fairly well. And Drew, I know you're not in the board review every day, but Alan is the kind of guy that I think you would get along with because he watches a lot of sports. Also, hello, we're on TikTok too. Hello, everybody on TikTok. If you want to come into YouTube and Twitch, you can find the website and the profile. Otherwise, follow the page. But we're going to start with the Rays. And we don't have to harp too much on the series, but I made some notes and some takeaways that I wanted to run by you and see what you thought. So, yep, we got swept. And as you mentioned, we lost the last game of the Pirates series that was against Skeens. The Rays lost 4-2, but the hitting was actually
pretty well in that game.
Yeah. So I wanted to touch on that real quick because we didn't do a recap after that series. The one thing I wanted to say is it's kind of, you chalk up a loss to Skeens no matter what. You win that series 2-1. I'm feeling pretty good. I was surprised how many hits we got off Skeens. And in the sports betting landscape, one of the things that I was most I don't know, like you take away the small things. Paul Skeens didn't go over his strikeouts. He had close. Yeah, I think he had 5 or 6 and his line was 7.5. That's not a real, when you go against the Rays in years past, this is a team that would probably strike out 10, 11 times against a guy like Skeens. Are you seeing something with the Rays where they're striking out less?
I haven't necessarily noticed less strikeouts, but I've noticed we're getting more hits. It's not really translating it into many more runs, but we're getting plenty of hits. In this 3-game sweep of the Rangers, game 1, it was 6-6 in hits. Game 2, it was 10-4 in our favor in hits, and we lost the game.
Yeah.
And today, another loss, hits were 7-7. So we out hit the Rangers by 6 in this series and got swept. I'd imagine you can't see that very often. But ultimately what it comes down to, and we talked about this on our very first episode, and I texted about this before we even started this up again, is major power outage. Outside of Bilal, nobody hits home runs on this team. Mm-hmm. That's the difference between a team like the Rangers and the Rays. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why the Rangers are going to be a true World Series contender, and Rays' best case scenario is going to be, maybe a wild card team that's one and done. It's because there's no power. And to be successful in today's MLB landscape, you have to be able to hit home runs. This isn't old school baseball. And outside of Brandon Lau, nobody hits home runs on this team. I think we have a total of 5 home runs on the season, whereas the Rangers have 12.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And, even when I watch the Rays at bats and the balls that look like they get good pop off the bat, they just kind of die in the outfield. I think our next best hope is Misner. He's got a lot of power. But I just saw Yandy, for example. He had a nice double off the wall, but it's like
that double was almost kind of lucky though. I feel like
the guy misplayed it.
Yeah. I mean, definitely not an error. I'm not saying it was an error, but if he made that catch, it wouldn't have necessarily been a web gem.
Yeah, fair enough. But, it's just none of these balls are getting out of the park. Whereas you saw Corey Seager's home run, that thing just gets ripped.
Right. The
Tampa
only
Bay
person I've seen with any power outside of Bilal is Aranda.
Yeah.
And I don't even mean that because he hit one home run this series, just because he's consistently getting doubles.
Right.
He's
Right.
driving the baseball well. But that's the only other person I'm seeing bring any power to the table.
Tampa Bay is now 1-5 this season when they score 4 or fewer runs. At what point does Neander finally figure out how to develop? Figure out he has to develop MLB hitters.
Well, I mean, to correct that a little bit, the Rays are hitting the baseball.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
Cameron Misner and Jake Magnum are developed in the Rays system, and they have came up and they've been two of our best hitters. But they're mainly getting singles. They're not providing any power.
Right. And then the other thing, Alan Dims. All right, well, I'll start it off. Bradley, 2 dick shots to start the game in the classic start where Rangers had no offense going before and the power in their lineup got to him. Drew, I missed that start entirely. I think that was Friday.
Yeah. No, you're talking about Taj?
He said Bradley.
Yeah, Taj Bradley. He started yesterday, didn't he?
I thought Littell was yesterday.
I'm pretty sure Littell was Friday. We lost the Littell game 5-2.
You are. It looks like you're correct. What game am I on right now?
Yeah, Taj was yesterday. We were down 4-0 in the first inning. So we could talk a ton of negative. Right. Let me just harp on just one positive to take away in a sweep. If you could take anything positive, is the Rays never went away. So they got down 4-0 immediately against DeGrom. And, I kind of chalked that up. Okay, whatever. This is going to be our 9-2, 8-2 loss, our ass beating. To the Rays' credit, they came back. They tied the game 4-4. And honestly, that Mason Montgomery 2-run home run that we lost on, I went and rewatched the highlights today. I don't even remember who hit that home run. It's
Langford. I saw that actually.
It was a great pitch.
Yeah.
It was 99.4.
I thought he had 100.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great pitch. I mean, you just kind of tip your cap on that. I thought maybe he left one hanging. He certainly didn't. But you're going against a tough lineup that can happen to you. But credit to the Rays, they've battled back. Taj Bradley, he had a horrible start. Not a horrible start overall, just a horrible first inning.
Right.
And they battle back. And today they battle back too. They get down 3-1 and then immediately they tie it up 3-3. So I give them some credit for not just laying down. If there's any positive you could take from this weekend.
Yeah, I think that it is a positive. I mean, I just saw the look on their faces in the dugout after that loss, and they look a little. They look a little upset, so it's not like they're just immediately.
No,
we fought back. We're good. But one quick note, and then we'll move on a little bit to these notes that I took. The Rays. Okay, so yesterday's game, 5 Ks for the Rays lineup. The Rangers had 12. Pretty impressive. The Rays lineup in the Littell start, 11 Ks to 4, and then today 6 strikeouts in the Rays lineup to 10. This is just not what I'm used to seeing with the Rays. Out of 3 games, there were 2 where the Rays struck out a combined 11 times. In years past, when you go through the Rays, they'll strike out 5 times in the first 3 innings. Right. A lot of times the game is really impressive. So what I'm getting at from a sports betting thing is I don't know that it's super wise to target opposing pitchers' strikeout props against Tampa right now. Obviously, the lineup is something to factor in, but I'm pretty impressed by that. I'm just looking for anything to.
Yeah, I mean, the Rangers are kind of that ultimate new school baseball team where they strike out a shit ton, but they hit a shit ton of home runs. It's all or nothing, and it's working out for them right now because what are they, 9-2?
Are the Rangers 9-2? Holy shit! The Padres came back.
Or 7-2, maybe.
By the way, somebody asked if I had any plays Sunday Night Baseball. I don't. You guys, we can touch on it a little bit. They're 8-2.
8-2.
And they're 6-1 at home. The Astros are now beating the Twins, by the way, if anybody cares.
Twins are pathetic. Weren't they just winning that game 7-5?
Yeah, now it's 9-7, top of the 10th. And the Mariners are probably going to lose again. God, they suck too. All right, we'll touch on that in a minute. Drew, a couple of notes for the Rays. This is also something to consider. Eric, what's up, Eric, in YouTube? Yeah, you know what's surprising? We have low-key a lot of Rangers fans in the Degenerate following. I thought Fairbanks looked good. I thought he looked good too. I thought Montgomery looked good. Montgomery's nasty. The Rangers got some guys out of the pen too. Today's game, that guy Milner that came in, I think he pitched 2 complete innings. He's like a sidewinder, whatever you call him, lefty. That guy was very good. Got to church. It was nice seeing Yandy's been lost at the plate, but it was nice seeing him have that double.
I thought we were maybe going to see a Bilal bomb off Church.
Yeah.
He matched up well with him. I mean, I'm not hating on him. He still drove in a run as a productive out, but I thought that was a little bit of a missed opportunity to get something bigger there.
Let's touch on Yandy while I just mentioned it. I wrote down Yandy lost, but this was before the double. That was big. Also, I Googled this. Do you know how old Yandy Diaz is?
34?
Well, no. Google says he's 32 years old.
Drew. Okay. Well, but he's from Cuba, so he's probably 36.
I was just going to say he might even be 39, dude. Next, you need to look at Yandy Diaz next time he gets up to the plate. He's got a lot of gray hairs in his beard. He looks like he's aging in the face. And I'm seeing some love handles. I know because I have some. I'm just saying, looks like Yandy might not be in tip-top shape. Are you worried?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to be worried. I think you have to be worried because he's not hitting the ball out of the infield. Like everything is like the first game or two when he wasn't getting any hits, it was just kind of like bad luck.
Yeah.
But now, like, it's just all little dribblers. It's like, you have this huge, strong man who can't hit the ball in the outfield. So I don't know what's happening with him right now. He's not even getting long outs.
Yeah, he doesn't look good at the plate. Doesn't really have good at bats. He's not even really working.
I don't know. In his defense, I don't know if he's like adjusting to being a full-time DH. I can never recall a time where literally just DHs every day. He would typically play first base, maybe DH on game 3, get off his feet. I don't understand why he's DHing every single day. Remember, Devers kind of struggled with, he was playing in the field every day and then DHing.
Yeah.
And I get it. He's getting older. You want to get him off his feet, yada, yada, yada. But, like, he can't play first base, every other day. Like, I don't understand. Why is he not playing any first base?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little concerned, but hopefully something to keep an eye on going into the next series. So I think the Rays have tomorrow off.
Yes, the Rays have had a ton of days off.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's why, like, I want to go through your list, but the biggest head scratcher probably of the weekend was Junior Caminero having yesterday off.
Yeah, didn't understand
why is your best, most exciting young player off? And he just had a day off in the Pirates series. And we had Thursday off, and then we have Monday off. Like, I don't know what is happening. There has to be something internal happening that we don't know about as why Junior Caminero through 9 games has been off too. That doesn't make any sense.
No, and he played today. He was 0 for 3, but he had a nice sack fly there to tie the game up. All right, here is a real big concern. This was actually at the top of my list. I only talked about Yandy first because we were on him. Everyone is stealing on the Rays, dude.
Yeah.
10 stolen bases this series. And I wrote down everyone is running on Jansen, but then I noticed today it was Roar too.
It's about, yeah. It's to the point now where when they're throwing, and because Jansen had committed some errors with throwing it and not even being able to make it to second base properly.
Two errors.
I'm just like, when guys steal, just don't even throw.
Yeah.
Don't even throw.
So this is something to be mindful of. Again, if you're going to watch us talk about the Rays and you're not a Rays fan, there's a very good chance that you're probably a sports bettor. So I like to try to, throw out any tidbits that you could take away from if you're watching us to enjoy this and maybe learn something. The Rays don't seem to be striking out anywhere near as much as they used to. And everybody is stealing on the Rays. So if you,
and it's not even close. It's not even like, it's a bang, bang play, whatever. Guy, we just got stolen on by the Rangers catcher.
That's what I was going to say.
The catcher, and it turned into a run.
I was watching by accident because I love the Rays broadcasting staff. They're some of the best in my opinion. I was watching the Rangers for a little bit, kind of by accident, but I like watching the other teams because I like hearing what they have to say about them. And they could not stop laughing when Jonah, I think it was Jonah Heim. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Jonah Heim was running on him, and then they showed him in the dugout, and he was like, they're like, get that man some oxygen. And it's not even really competitive. And when
easy at second safe.
And whoever's coming in, I don't know if it's Walls or Lau, whoever's coming in to, try to make the tag. It's almost like when the runner goes, like they just know that it's going to happen. Like they're not even really being super competitive.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't want to hit the panic button because we're still not even 2 weeks into the season, but Danny Jansen was supposed to be one of our big offseason pickups, and he's like 1 for 17 and he can't throw anybody out. So it's just like, what are we going to do about this?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I mean, do we have anybody in the fucking minors that we can bring up? Nobody.
I mean, nobody worth a note. No,
Is there another Molina?
There's no like big name prospect or anything like that down there.
There's not another Molina.
No, there's probably just a lot of Alex Jacksons.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Next thing I wrote down. You worried about Clevenger?
Am I worried about Clevenger? So I've honestly, I've never viewed Clevenger as like our like high end reliever. I look at Clevenger as a guy you throw in the game when you're like, it's a 2 to 3 run game. I don't really understand why Clevenger came in to face the top of the lineup when Manny Rodriguez was available, who's a more high end reliever. And I think Clevenger, he gave up the home run to Seager, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any shame in that. I don't think there's any shame in giving up one solo home run to Corey Seager, who's one of the best hitters in baseball.
That's fair.
But I don't think Clevenger is one of our 1A guys. Our 1A guys are Fairbanks, Montgomery, Uceda, Manny Rodriguez. Those are our top guys.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, I'm not gonna get worried then.
I love Clevenger, but on the list of like our problems right now,
right.
like he's more of like our mid to lower tier part of the bullpen, and your lower tier part of the bullpen are going to be guys who, give up a solo home run. That's going to happen.
Right. Okay. And then the last thing. So I wrote down, is Junior hurt? You brought that up. That was good. Rays, Kang, less. The last thing I wrote down, takeaway from this series, Rangers good, or do they just own the Rays?
I think you have to go Rangers good, and they own the Rays. I think you go both.
So the Rangers were a team coming into this this season in the offseason. When I was doing my MLB research, I heard 2 teams that were pretty popular with their over-win total. It was the Diamondbacks and it was the Texas Rangers. And I remember just looking at the Texas Rangers lineup and I was like, good Lord.
They're not even scoring a ton of runs yet either. That's a series. They're 8-2. And I think they're only averaging like 3 point something runs per game. So they're pitching fantastic. So the lineup's going to get going. So yeah, they're going to be a problem.
They are going to be a problem. And if anybody cares, I mean, they're not really getting a ton of respect in the World Series market, obviously, because it's very top heavy, but 18-1, the Texas Rangers. And if you like them to win the AL, they're plus 750. And then when it comes to their division, they're plus 110 with the Houston Astros at plus 210. That's probably where the value is.
Yeah. No, I mean, the early returns is plus 110. Yeah, you like that for sure.
Yeah.
One last thing I'll mention that comes to mind with the Rays, and this is an old story, but man, I don't know how the Rays are going to do another 3 weeks of Taylor Walls. I mean, it's just brutal.
Oh, well, somebody said that. Taylor Walls is the worst hitter I have ever watched.
Yeah.
Alex Jackson was really bad.
Right, but Alex Jackson was not like an everyday player, and Alex Jackson was like a 2 or 3 month experiment. Taylor Walls, this is like year 3, I think. I think he's been on the Rays like 3 years now, where we've been watching this and hearing about how much the Rays love his defense and yada, yada, yada. But this guy, I mean, at best, he's a 150 hitter.
He is. I don't know if it's lacking confidence, or I don't know if he's just never going to be that guy. But he, even the Rangers broadcast brought it up. They're like, he's got a glove. He just needs to find a bat.
What I don't understand is he's also still switch hitting. It's just like, if you can't hit, commit to a side. Don't switch hit. Why are you switch hitting? You can't hit. If righty is you're like, what you naturally are, just focus on that, man. Like, let's get your average above like 210, and then maybe, throw in going back to being a switch hitter. But I mean, I don't see how the Rays, because, Hassan Kim won't be back until May. So we still got another 3+ weeks of this. So I don't know how, I mean, having a guy in the lineup hitting 120 for another 3 weeks, that spells
and
big.
Fucking Jansen. When you parlay that with Jansen,
well, Warfed still doesn't have a hit.
Oh, I know he's brutal too. But I'm just basically, you've got Walls and you've got a catcher. These are 2 automatic outs at the back of the lineup, and it's actually amazing that the Rays are still able to get 7, 8, 9 hits a game without 2 fucking hitters. The only thing I do with the Rays is Pepe and Littell Nerfies. That's nothing wrong with that. Let's catch up on the comments, and then let's talk about the everything else that happened today. Taylor Wall, I already did that. Do you guys have any good explanation on why Biggie?
That's a good question. Hunter Biggie, I would throw into the category of one of our high-end relievers with Montgomery and Uceda and the others. Yeah, I don't know why he's not getting much burn. He originally didn't make the opening day roster. He only he only made the opening day roster because McClanahan got hurt. He replaced McClanahan, which I found surprising because he looked fantastic. We got Hunter Biggie from the Paredes trade from the Cubs. So yeah, I don't know why he's not getting more opportunities. I don't know what the Rays are missing on him, or whether or not as high on him as most people who watch the games are.
Yeah. Sports Clown said, would you rather Garrett Clevenger edition? Pete Fairbanks, Edwin Uceta, Mason Montgomery, Kelly. I don't know. I don't get the question. Do you?
I think he's saying all those guys are better than Garrett Clevenger, which I mean, I can't really disagree with any of them.
Yeah.
But like Garrett Clevenger isn't the problem with the Rays.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like I mean, if we're arguing about like who is Clevenger our 5th or 6th or 7th best reliever, I mean, we got much bigger problems.
Right. But I just noticed it's early. But when he used to come in last year, I was very comfortable. This year, I'm like, ooh, he's probably going to give up 1 to 2 hits. Rangers pitching good. Offense hasn't impressed. Rangers are slightly above average. Good is a bit of a stretch right now. Taylor Walls being employed is sickening. Yep. Walls is much worse based on what you expect. Jackson was never supposed to really be there.
Yeah, I believe Taylor Walls was a highly regarded prospect.
Sounds about right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this is a good comment because if Taylor Walls, if he could hit 220, he would be in the major leagues for 10 plus years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Just because of his defense, he would find himself with a job for 10 plus years in MLB. But I mean, whenever the Rays cut ties with him, which I would guess is going to be coming soon, because who else are you going to cut ties with when Hyun-Sung Kim is ready?
Get him out. BA and Stats were actually surprised when he got a single today. Yeah, no shit. With a 13-game homestand coming up against the Angels, Braves, Boston, Yankees, how many losses here would you hit panic button? Oh, that's a really good question.
8. 5 and 8 would be a disaster. Anything 8 or more. I mean, even 6 and 7 would suck ass. Yeah, I mean, listen, the Braves are playing like shit. Angels, I mean, come on, the Angels. The Rays, they need to win 4 of those 6 games right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Red Sox and the Yankees. I mean, hopefully you win one of those series and you lose the other one. I mean,
I get what you're saying. Basically, we need to go 7. Do we know for sure how many total games this is?
It's a 13-game homestand. So okay. I'm guessing one of those series, I don't know which one.
Maybe 4
one
games.
Of those must be 4 games.
Yeah. So 7 and 6. And I mean, God, dude, the Angels aren't a fucking pushover. And you just get nervous the Braves wake up against the Marlins. You know, if the I don't know who the Braves
get their ass kicked by the Marlins yesterday.
Yeah, but then they play Alcantara today. What if they fucking beat Sandy and get some confidence going? I don't know. I feel good. I
think today's game against the Marlins got rained out.
Oh, you're right. It did. I'm sorry. I feel good about this. I think 8 and 5 is doable.
I think after getting swept today, you kind of need to go 8 and 5. I mean, 7 and 6, I'm not going to be like pissed off about it. It's going to be whatever. But yeah, I think the Rays need to go 8 and 5.
Yeah, I think they can. Somebody sent us a graphic and said, "What do you think of this? NFL, MLB, and NBA team equivalents based on winning percentage." Interesting. I don't really know what this is. That's kind of too tough for me to look at right now, Hill Daddy, but I'll check it out later. Glasnow looked awful today. Made me feel slightly better.
Yeah, he looks awful, and Blake Snell went on the IL. So bad day for former Rays Dodgers.
Did he really? What's up, Proper Patch? How you doing? Thanks for joining us. Yankees is a 4-game series. Got you. Did we recap Vlad? No, we didn't. We'll do that in a little.
Yankee series, they got to split that. You got to go 2-2. You got to go 2-2. I know you say the Angels are feisty, but I'm looking at the Rays should sweep that series. You got Shane Baz, you got Pep, and then you got Bradley coming back around.
Well, somebody asked, or actually Fat Girls that's in here said that his next start will be against the Braves. Does that sound right?
Who's next start?
Bradley.
Oh, you know what? Littell's number 2 in the rotation. My bad. I'm thinking Bradley's 2. So yes, they're correct. So it'll be Baz, Pepio.
We have up. I can probably get it for you. I got it.
No. That guy was right.
Yep. Baz. Is it Baz or Baz?
Shane Baz.
Oh, I thought it was Baz. Pepiot, Littell. So we're going to go against Kyle Hendricks. Kikuchi scares me a little bit. But we got Pepiot going that game. That's probably an under game. You got
Who's Littell going against?
Soriano.
Okay.
So Soriano he had a great first game. I think I faded him, and I don't know. Oh, I pushed. So he played. Let me see. He's gone 2 games. Yeah, he went 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned. I played the Guardians first 5 and pushed. So he's played the White Sox on the road, the Guardians at home. Then he's got to play the Rays in Tampa. I mean, I'm not that worried about him. He's a righty. I'm not that worried about him. I think
I want to get greedy. I want to sweep this series.
Okay.
I mean, 2 out of 3, sure, we'll take it. But I look at it after getting swept in the Rangers, we got to make up a game. And by making up a game, you need to sweep the Angels, not just take 2 out of 3.
So Bradley's going to go against Holmes and the Braves in the opener of that series. I love that. 7:00 on Friday. And then Raz goes against the Braves on Saturday. And then Sunday's Baz again. Yeah, I don't know, man. So that's 6 games against the Angels and the Braves. So you're saying sweep the Angels 2-1 against the Braves, 5-1 in the next 6.
That's being greedy. Being greedy, but I think it's needed after just getting swept on the road. I think you need to make a statement, turn it around, get a little home field advantage going, and get a little momentum going when you're going against your 2 biggest division rivals, following up by that with the Yankees and Red Sox.
Dude, the schedule gets really hard after that. So after 4 games
against San Diego, right? Or
they go Arizona, then San Diego, home to play the Royals. I mean, the Royals are scrappy as shit. Then up to play the Yankees, then the Phillies at home.
Well, then that's even all more the reason why you have to get greedy and you have to start figuring out how you get some sweeps, right? Because, you got some tough games coming up. So that's why you have to get greedy and say, you know what, between the Braves and the Angels right now, you got to go 5-1. I know that's asking a lot, but you know what? You have to make up some wins for some losses that are going to be coming.
This is a fair comment. I can't take the Rays seriously with Taylor Walls in the lineup.
Right. I agree. I don't see Jose Caballero as that much of a downgrade at shortstop to just say Jose Caballero is going to play shortstop.
I don't either.
It's not like you're falling off a cliff in defensive production. It's not like you're going from an amazing defender to a guy who's terrible. So I can live with the level off, and we don't need Jose Caballero playing outfield. We don't need him playing outfield with how Magnum and Misner have stepped up. So just let him play shortstop.
I love the way Cabby's been playing. I like him in the outfield. I mean, in the field, I think he's fine in the box.
Yeah, and he's good on bases. Yep. What's going to be interesting is Richard Palacios should be up soon.
I would love to see that.
But who do you see? Who are they going to send down?
That's a good question.
Mead?
Yeah. You have to. Yeah. You have to. Unfortunately, somebody asked
because he's another utility guy. Palacios can play left field, right field, second base.
Yeah,
play a lot of different spots.
Somebody asked in TikTok about tonight's baseball game. I don't have anything. If anybody in the chat does, let me know. Drew, I don't know if you looked at it. I think it's it's a doubleheader with some guy named fucking Dobbins going for the Red Sox against Miles Mikolas. I'm good on that game. Boston won the first game 5-4. That was a gritty win for them. They got out hit 11-8. Yeah, I'm good on that. But you want to touch on a little recap through for the other games, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So let's there's a couple of games going on right now. Let's talk about let's keep it in the AL East first. Any takeaways for the Yankees? They lost today, thank God. They're 6-3 on the year, but their bats are very live. They scored 9 runs in the first game with the Pirates. They scored 10 runs in the second. They still put up 5 today in the 4.
And they almost won today, weren't they? Down by 3 in the 8th, and they came all the way back. So yeah, I mean, they did what they needed to do. You go on the road, you take 2 out of 3. You're not going to complain about that.
Yep. So I mean, yeah, I'm scared of the Yankees. I'll go ahead and say it. I'm scared of the Yankees.
I don't know if I'm scared of the Yankees.
I'm scared of the Yankees.
What exactly is scaring you about the Yankees?
Their bats. Their bats.
All right. I think I think the Rays pitching will do fine against them, but we'll see soon enough. They got a long 4-game series.
But if we're going to lose against lineups like the Rangers that have power, how are we not scared of the Yankee? Volpe was hitting the ball well. Ben Rice is fucking Goldschmidt's hitting okay. It's kind of scary.
I'm just not as scared of their lineup as other teams. I know they've gotten off to a hot start. Credit to them. But yeah, I think they're going to come back to life a little bit.
Oh, this is good from Allen. Andrew Heaney absolutely shoved with 10 Ks. Blueprint how to pitch against them in Pirates fashion. Almost blew that game. Yep. Afraid of the torpedo bat. You know who needs a fucking torpedo bat? Yandy Diaz. Because everything he's hitting
I think he has a torpedo bat. Him and Junior are the only two guys on the team with torpedo bats.
Oh, well, he needs a bigger torpedo bat. He needs an extra large torpedo bat. I would be afraid of the Yankees if I was a Rays fan. Okay. So you don't sound too concerned. That's okay. Let's talk about what was another team that
Orioles had a pitcher go 6 innings today, so that's good for the Orioles. That's a rare feat, but they still lost, so that's a shame.
Yeah, 5 hits. So I've actually played. I faded the Royals pitcher because he was coming off of a really good performance. And I thought, you know what? Baltimore kind of woke up yesterday. They scored 8 runs after losing 8-2. They've lost 3 in a row. That was a nice bounce back for them. So I wanted to back Baltimore's bats, and I took Bubich over 4.5 hits. This fucking guy goes, I think he actually went, did he go 7 innings? Hold on, let me check real quick. I mean, I'm not talking about the O's pitcher. I'm talking Bubich went 6 2/3. It's kind of a lot, and that's the only way I hit this bet. Over 4.5 hits, he allowed 5. I had no business winning, but yeah, the Cade Povich, this guy, what a disaster. 6 innings, 13 hits. Somehow he only allowed 4 earned runs, 4 Ks. So yes, I'm scared of the Yankees. No, I'm not scared of the Orioles.
Your Blue Jays, they finally went on the road and they lost all 3 games.
Thought torpedo bats were cheating, DJ. No, they're only cheating when they're on the the Yankees. Javon is high on Bubich. Okay, well, noted. I won't fade him next time. Yeah, listen, I mean, most people in this chat know how I feel about the Blue Jays. I always try to bet on the Blue Jays. I can never win on the Blue Jays. I took Vladdy to hit a home run yesterday. Of course, he didn't do that. He did go over his bases. I took the Blue Jays today. I like the Blue Jays to win, and they lose 2-1. I mean, look, I want to be nice to the Blue Jays. I like the Blue Jays fans, Gate 14, and, you know, the Canadians are very nice people. But I'm just going to tell you. Actually, no, Drew, you go first.
I think the Blue Jays are the Blue Jays. They're not going to be like god awful, but they're going to win 78 to 82 games. You know what I mean? That's just who the Blue Jays are. They just live in 78 to 82, 83 land win. That's who they are.
But okay, that's purgatory. If you're a Blue Jays fan, that may as well be hell.
Well, that's why everybody was the biggest surprise from last year's trade deadline was they didn't do a massive fire sale because, like, okay, well, you know, obviously this is not going to be a good enough squad to get you to where you need to go, but they decided to keep the marriage together. I don't know what they're doing. They just need to rip the Band-Aid off and call it off, but I don't know. Strange situation.
Real quick, I want to keep talking about the Blue Jays, but I want to respect the person in TikTok asking, do the Braves have a star in Spencer Schwellenbach? Have you watched this guy pitch? I haven't.
I have not, to be transparent. No.
Sounds like it might be good. So this is the problem with the Blue Jays, Drew. When you talk to Blue Jays fans, which I have, they shit on the Rays because it's like, oh, the Rays don't have a stadium and they don't have any money.
How can you shit on the Rays when when is the last time the Blue Jays won a playoff game?
Don't get me started.
When was the last time they were even in the playoffs?
Don't get me started. Please don't get. I know this. I've had these conversations. I've got riled up. I get
getting chirped by a Red Sox fan or a Yankee fan, but I mean a Blue Jay fan. That doesn't make any
Dude, I was as taken aback as you were because here's the thing. When Blue Jays fans say things like that, they're actually shitting on themselves because they're saying they do have a stadium and they do have money to sign players and they can't win dick.
No.
So they sign Anthony Santander. This guy has done nothing. The dude who's doing anything for the Blue Jays is Andres Jimenez, who is actually kind of a dog. Nobody for the Blue Jays is really stepping up. And Alejandro Kirk looks pathetic. Will Wagner, I heard all the rave about this guy, this rookie. This guy stinks. I mean, their starting pitching isn't pathetic. But their lineup has been atrocious, and their lineup should be one of the better lineups in baseball with Bo Bichette, Springer's washed, and Vladdy. So, yeah, like you say it like, oh, the Blue Jays are harmless. This is what they are, blah, blah, blah. And I agree with you. But if you're a Blue Jays fan,
I haven't been chirped by Blue Jay fans, so that's why.
Yeah.
But if I was, I'd be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I mean, they're poverty compared to the Rays.
Thank you.
Absolute poverty.
Okay, I'm so
they're a poverty franchise compared to the Rays. I don't give a shit if they have some dopey stadium in Toronto where everybody sits on their hands and barely makes any noise. Good for them.
I might have to clip this. All right, great job there. So we talked about the Yankees. We talked. What about the Red Sox? So the Red Sox now.
Abreu delivered a late run for them to get the win against the Cardinals. I guess
he's good. Wilyer Abreu is good. I don't know that really anybody in the Red Sox scares me that much with Devers still being lost. Let's see. I want to look at their
Got two
lineup.
RBIs today, Devers.
Yeah, he might.
Listen. I am way more confident in Devers turning around than Yandy Diaz.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So the one thing about the Red Sox we have to give them credit for, they look like shit against the Rangers. They came out in the home opener at Baltimore and lost, and they turn around and they won 3-0 against the O's, 8-4 against the O's, and then they beat the Cardinals 13-9. And then they had a gritty win today, 5-4. That's concerning. I don't want the Red Sox to get momentum. So on the topic of tonight's game, I think, Drew, as Rays fans, we really need the Cardinals to deflate and prevent any sort of spark that the Red Sox could get. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily too concerned about that, but I mean, even if they win tonight, they're going to be 6-4. I mean, it's nothing that scary, right?
Yeah, no, I guess you're right.
You know what I kind of like? I would be curious to see if you agree with this. I like it that the Angels are going to win again today, and they're going to get to 6-3, 6-3, because I think that means it's time for them to come back to life when they get to Tampa.
Ooh. I like where your head's at. By the way, the Mariners are putting up a fight here. They're down 4-3. They have 9 hits today. They're down 4-3 against the Giants, but they have 2 on late. Yep. Angels are up 5-3. I'm sorry, 5-2 against the Guardians.
Yeah, they scored some more runs. Yeah, so they're going to be 6 and they're going to have 6 wins, feeling good about themselves when they come to Tampa. So I'm looking at that as a back to reality check when they go against us.
Nice bounce back game for Cal Raleigh. It looks like he's got 3 hits today, a home run, and an RBI. Oh my goodness. So Drew, I watched and bet on the Mariners the other day when they lost in heartbreaking fashion. I think they lost like 10-9 or something in extras, 11 innings or whatever. Luke Raley has been really pathetic.
Well, you say Luke Raley's been really pathetic. Why don't you take a look at your former MVP's pick? What he's doing.
So I just looked it up right now. Randy is 0 for 4 today with 3 Ks, and he is batting 114.
He's hitting worse than Taylor Walls. And if you take away that opening home run, I think he had in game 1, which feels like a lifetime ago already. I mean, does this guy even have any hits since then? I'm sure he does, but you don't have to look it up.
No, I want to look it up now.
I'm sure. I think he's got.
I know he does. I still want to look it up.
Yeah. But, I mean, wow. The Rays, they are looking like they sold at the perfect time, Randy, because this guy is completely lost.
Dude, he has. So one game he's really come through. He had 2 hits. He had a double and a home run against the Tigers. I think that was in the Scooball game, but it wasn't against Scooball, I'm sure. I'm not going to look it up. And then he had 1 more hit against the Tigers. Oh, this is not good. 0 for 5, 0 for 3, 0 for 3 today in this Giants series.
Yeah, when did the Mariners look at, okay, maybe we don't get to put this guy in the everyday lineup? I mean, how can you have your left fielder hitting 110? I mean, your left fielder is supposed to be your guy in the lineup who's providing a little bit of power and hitting at least 240 or above.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good point.
I chirped the Rangers, the Angels in the beginning of the season. And, maybe it's going to come back to bite me in the ass and they take care of us in Tampa. Hopefully not. Because Ron Washington, right before the season started, I don't know if you read this, he banned cell phones in the clubhouse. So none of the players or coaches, himself and the staff included, nobody can have a cell phone in the clubhouse. Because he says he felt like the focus wasn't there last year. He wants everybody locked in. They're the only professional team I can imagine in any sport that's doing this. And you know what? I was making fun of them, but they're 6-3, or they're about to be 6-3.
Well, now you got me a little nervous, and I'm going to look up Mariners grounded to double play. No fight in these losers, dude. They are the Mariners. Okay, so being a Rays fan has its ups, has its downs. It can be very frustrating at times. I'll tell you what. I would much rather be a Rays fan than a fucking Blue Jay or a Mariners fan. These teams have no dog, no fight. No,
yeah, like we said, at least the Rays, they fought back in 2 of the games they lost.
Oh my God, the Mariners, 2 on, no outs, and now they're out of the inning already. They are pathetic. I really like the San Francisco Giants, by the way. They're about to be 8-1 if they win this game.
How scary is NL West?
It's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even a division close to it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Every team is elite besides the Rockies.
Do you want to know, by the way? Do you just want any sort of Oh, I don't have anything on the Angels. I was going to say, I mean, I know the Angels aren't going to win the division. They're 19-1 to do so. The Rangers and the Astros are probably head and shoulders above that. But I was going to see if there was like a live win total that we could get down on. You might have me wanting to invest on the Angels. I like shit like that. If it's working.
Do you think Ron Washington like has like a snitch in the clubhouse, like
No.
who's like, oh, you know what? I saw Trout sending a text before we went on the field. You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. No,
I was going to ask if there is one, what player do you think it is?
Well, it could be Rendon.
He's not even there.
Oh yeah, he had.
He decided to get hip surgery before the season started. These fucking guys, they have a 5-month off season, and then right when they report to spring training, he's like, "Oh, my hip's hurt." This guy just doesn't want to fucking play baseball. It's such a joke. Like, why wouldn't you get that addressed in November?
He's a fucking loser. They got Taylor Ward leading off. He bats .216. I like Rengifo. Is that how you say his name? Rengifo? I think it's Rengifo. He's batting .250. Trout's actually only batting .188, but somebody said
that's scary. That's a little scary that he's only hitting .180 and you're 6-3. That's a little scary.
I forgot they have Jorge Soler. I like Soler. He hit a home run today. He's batting he's batting .219. He's good. Logan O'Hoppe, their catcher. Why can't we get a fucking Logan O'Hoppe?
They have Tim Anderson. I thought he was out of baseball.
I thought he was too. He's 1 for 3 today with a run and an RBI. So
one thing to be on the lookout for, Mike Trout absolutely owns the Rays. I think out of like any team in MLB, he owns them more than anyone. He has like ridiculous numbers. We'll try to pull it up. Maybe you could tweet it out. But yeah, his career against the Rays is ridiculous.
Okay. Well, on that note, do you think that we should take his props?
I wouldn't against Shane Baz because I believe in Baz. Baz is my Cy Young of the team, so I'm always going to be biased with him. Perhaps with our other starters that he's going against, such as Littell, yes. But I think Shane takes care of him.
Okay, so real quick, before we let you go, tomorrow, day off, Tuesday, Hendricks and Baz. Anything?
What do you think that line will be?
The Rays minus 160.
Yeah, another thing that kind of sucks?
What?
Is Tuesday, there's actually a little bit of a cold front coming through. I was hoping it would be miserable, like 80 plus degrees. Yeah, like the high Tuesday and Wednesday is going to be like 74 degrees. So we're not even going to get any heat advantage.
This is a crazy take. Littell better than Baz.
So it's got to be trolling.
No,
I like Zach Littell, though. I
like Littell, too. Yeah, but, dude, Baz is not. Daylad's the same guy that said Cooper Flagg is overrated. We should sweep the Angels, but I think of Detmer's one good career start being the no. Oh, God. Kyle Hendricks' first game, by the way, was against the Giants. He went 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned run, 4Ks. So it's not going to be a pushover, but let's go ahead and wrap it up and end on that note. Jordan Romano, dude, this guy is the worst closer I think I've seen on the Phillies. He is awful, but the Phillies won. That was great. I've got the Phillies over win total and to win the division. Send him back to Toronto. Yeah, no shit. Flag is over.
I just pulled Trout's numbers against the Rays. So in 67 games against the Rays, he's hitting .309, 25 home runs, 47 RBIs.
That's a lot.
So, yeah, he absolutely rakes against us, not just with hits, but with, like, massive power.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But it's not going to be at the Trop, so.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Although now it's going to be more of a pitcher's field. I mean, a hitter's field. So the numbers are probably going to get scarier.
All right, favorite bet for Tuesday right now. Rays first 5.
Baz over K's.
Baz over K's again?
Yeah,
I can't believe they were 4.5, dude.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those things where you get like 3 or 4 free plays out of it before Vegas catches on. Kind of like last year with Bradley. I think you take candy from the baby. It's still early. Not enough people are talking about Shane Baz. I think the general fans are like, oh, this guy's the number 5 starter in the Rays rotation. How good could he be? Because when did you think that? When did you think that if you didn't follow the Rays closely? Like, oh, it's their number 5 starter. I mean, whatever. Sure. It's probably okay.
I'm looking at the strikeouts for Tanner Bybee only had 4 Ks. Today, the Guardian starting pitcher only has 3 Ks. Jeez, maybe they don't strike out, Drew.
Man, the Guards are going to be falling to 3 and 6.
I know.
It's a little surprising.
Yeah, it sure is. All right, hold on. Let's see the other game in this series. Oh no, those are the first two. Oh no, let's see this one right here. All right, let's see who pitched in this game. Grant, who was it? Gavin Williams. He had 5 Ks. I mean, oh my God. Well, the Angels had 14 strikeouts collectively as a team. That's a lot.
Yeah, I guess they're adopting that mindset of all power or nothing.
Yep.
I think we're going to learn about the Yankees. One last note on the Yankees. They got a tough series coming up at Detroit. Let's see how they fare against some real competition on the road against Detroit this week before you slurp them too much.
Okay.
And then the Blue Jays on the AL East note, they are going to the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox knock the shit out of them, take that series.
Okay.
And the O's got a tough one. O's are going out west. They're playing Arizona.
Good. Fucking pile on them. They're in dreary, windy, rainy Kansas City right now. Then you go into a nice dome. You're feeling all good and comfortable, and the snakes fucking bite your ass.
The Diamondbacks know they got to kick it up a notch because
it's
brutal and they're 5-5. So
and Corbin Burns looks like shit.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a good
up though. I think I'm gonna be taking the Tigers Monday against Rodon.
Oh, you can, and they were in a look ahead spot today. I'm just kidding. I like that because I'm not a Rodon guy at all. I think he's totally ass. So.
And if you're in Detroit, tickets start at $6.
Love it. All right, Drew. Thanks for making it happen. That's the Rays Glaze. W. Drew. Everybody, thanks for joining. We'll check you guys probably after the Angels series. Drew will be in touch, or we'll see you next weekend. All right. Have a great night.
Everybody.